Now I have both of the top edges scored all the way around. So there's some definite lines going through here. After I did both pieces, I went back around this piece with slip. Slip is basically clay and water mixed together. And it takes time for the clay to break down, but you want it to be fairly loose and runny, kind of like a thick gravy. So I scratched up all the way around, and then I put my slip on, okay? And I was fairly liberal with the slip. You don't want to use too little. You might as well just slop it on and clean it up later if it oozes out. And then after that, I'm going to go around and make sure the slip gets into some of these crevices, cracks, these little lines. And this is a little bit quicker. Just take the side of a tool, rough it up again. Some people like to do this on both sides, to slip and score and slip. For this demonstration, I think I will be all right to do a really good score slip job on this side, plenty of slip, and just do the scoring on the other side. Then I'm going to set my pieces together, and before I really get them in place, I'm going to turn this around, make sure things look fairly even. And then at this point, we want the lines that we've scored to really come together like a zipper, like teeth mashing together. That's what those lines help to do. So in order to get them to do that, if we take our two pieces and gently wiggle them a little bit, putting some pressure all the way around, pushing in parts, they stick out a little bit, and wiggling. Get these to stay together so we have one combined form. All right, looks pretty good. After you get them put together, you can't just leave them like that. Not only is that a terribly ugly seam, but it won't stay together. You need to smear or weld these two pieces together. There's a lot of different ways to do this. I like to use a tool. A simple popsicle stick, a wooden tool is pretty helpful. You need to actually smear one side to the other side. I'm being rough. I don't care that this is messing up the surface of my clay. At this point, you really want to get these joined. Pushing pretty hard. Yes, this is so beautiful and smooth. This is all liney, and at this point it looks messy, but it's all part of the process. If you don't do the smearing or welding really, really good, the pieces will come apart and your form will have holes in it, cracks, leaks. If this is going to be a functional piece of pottery, like a teapot, that would be bad. Just keep turning it around until I get all the way back to the starting point. At this point, it's slip, scored, and smeared, but it's kind of a mess. I've got pieces kind of everywhere. I've got pieces stuck to my form. So I'm going to clean everything up a little bit. It's important every so often when you're working with clay to rub the dry pieces off, put them in a pile. You can add them back into your slip later. Put little pieces in, they'll dissolve in there. But every so often, clean off your hands so that you can clean off your form. I don't want to take slip and smear it all over. I see people do that a lot. They think slip will just fix all their problems. And it will temporarily, but later down the line, it actually causes more problems than it usually helps. So at this point, I've got a mess of a seam. I need to clean that up. I've already gone in this direction with my popsicle stick. Now, I'm going to use the tool to go in the opposite direction and just scrape a little bit off at a time to clean that up. It's not going to come out perfect right away. So after you do a little bit of scraping, you obviously go all the way around, scrape all the way around, then you come back with a dry, clean finger and compress the clay, smooth it out, push gently. This will make kind of a shiny surface, and this is where the quality comes in. Really getting that seam nice and smooth. So you'll finish all the way around.